Hmm. Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. You know, this episode was a mixed bag, right? Because there was some good stuff in this episode. There was some stuff in this episode that didn't really work for me. There was a bit of fluff in this episode. Okay, let's talk about the Curtis and Trina scene. Because one of the things that I did actually like and I did appreciate was when Curtis was talking about his perspective on when he was disabled. You know, he felt like he was treated differently, he felt like he was disrespected. And, throughout his whole experience, he realized that he's always going to be him. No matter if he's in a chair, if he's walking, whatever. But I think in some ways that he felt a new respect for people who have to sit there and deal with their disabilities, not just, you know, mentally how it makes them feel about themselves, but also how people treat them, you know? So I did appreciate that part. Okay, so here's the thing with Trina, right? Because she's finding it even difficult to go to Kelly's. I didn't realize how much time they actually spent in Kelly's, but to be fair, I don't remember much about some of the stuff that happened before. Like, there's a point where Portia's talking about, which I actually really did like this scene, when Portia was meant to talking about what wound up doing to her family. I don't remember the stuff that she wound up doing to her family, so you can sit there and write that in the comment section below. But the point I'm trying to make with this whole Trina thing is that she needs to start grief counseling, right? Because when Josslyn gets there, Josslyn's snippy talking about her plans and how she wants to sit there and try to hold off on getting another roommate until hopefully Trina can come back in. But Trina's like, she doesn't even know what she wants to do. She doesn't know if she wants to go back to PC High, PC, like college or whatever. She wants to go back to Paris. She is still in limbo, because she's still grieving. But she has to start that process somewhere, because yeah, she's opening up to her family. She's talking about her feelings, and that's great. But the fact that she's still in limbo about her life, and she's on hold. She doesn't know if she wants to ever love again, and things of that nature, which is perfectly normal. But you got to start somewhere, you know. Now, let's get into this whole Heather thing, right? First of all, when Portia walks in, she realizes that Heather's not even in her restraints, and she's like, what's going on? And Heather's like, oh, maybe I lost weight from the surgery, this, that, and the third. But she is hella uncomfortable. So when she walks back out, she tells the guard, like, yo, listen, you need to sit there and find a way to restrain her because I don't trust her. My staff got to sit there and deal with her. This is pretty much unacceptable. And Kevin comes in there, and Kevin is talking to Heather. And one of the things that Heather says is that she felt like she did a lot of bad stuff because like her blood was like on fire. So she did like a lot of crazy stuff. This just goes into the whole metal poisoning thing. It's very obvious that they are trying to redeem her. Is it gonna work? Let me ask you a question. Let's sit there and say she starts doing some really good stuff. Would you feel any different about her after all the pain that she wound up causing? Would you actually, you know what I'm saying? Like, she killed Brett. She killed Brando. And they're trying to redeem her, right? Because at the end of the conversation with Kevin, he talks to, she starts talking about all the stuff that she wants to do. She wants to get flowers to Sasha. Like, that's going to really do anything. She wants to give flowers to her grave, well, to Esme's grave or whatever. So she talks about all the stuff that she wants to do, but she's always like, she feels like she's kind of hopeless or whatever. So Kevin talks to Alexis and talks about, is there anything that they can do legally as far as like, her poisoning and if, she can possibly get like time served or whatever, some sort of loophole she can do as far as maybe not going to jail or something. Now, Portia overhears this and she walks over. She's like, I'm sorry, what are you trying to do? We trying to free murderers now? Like, really? After all the pain that she wound up causing? And Britt, by the way, did work at the hospital. I don't know how much of a close relationship she had, but the point is, she is pissed. And she, when Laura comes in, she also says, oh, isn't there a change in Heather and stuff like that? And Portia makes it very clear. Listen, if you are they're trying to get this woman free, I'm literally going to fight like hell to make sure that that doesn't happen. And it's astonishing to me. Like Kevin, okay, fine, he's a doctor, so I get that. But Laura being so nice and so empathetic and stuff like that, she's apologized for not seeing her. And I think it probably hit me a little bit more when we saw Sasha, trying to build back up her life and stuff like that after her husband died at the hands of Heather. So when she's talking about, oh, I'm sorry, this, that, and the third, I'm like, this is the reason why I've been so harsh on Laura. This level of empathy that she has for Esme at one point, and now she's having it for Heather, who killed people. And yeah, okay, fine, she had metal poisoning, but that doesn't take away all the pain and suffering that she's caused. So when Portia went off, I'm really listening to like, I'm right with her. Now, there is a bit of fluff in this episode, and this is also with Laura Smith. They're doing mayor stuff about healthcare and stuff, and then Alexis was asking Terry to do some sort of PR thing or whatever, and she gave Terry a draft, and she looked at it, she's like, yeah, I'm gonna get my PR people to sit there and take a look at this because apparently whatever it was, she didn't feel comfortable saying it. I don't know exactly what it is, and maybe it can lead something down further, but it was kind of like, was this really necessary? I don't know. Now, the scene with Blaze and Christina. Now, during the live stream yesterday, I don't know if I said this in my review. I might have said this in my review, but I'm pretty sure I said this in my live stream. Because I kept sitting there wondering, I was like, why is Christina so upset with, like, why does she give her that attitude? Like, oh, you seem like you're definitely the face of deception or something like that. And Blaze wanted to talk to her. And I was like, what are you upset about? And my theory was she's probably upset because Blaze didn't sit there and tell her about her new job. Now, people listening to this saying she was upset because, she didn't introduce Christina as her girlfriend. Now, that would have been a legitimate reason to sit there and be upset. But it really was for the simple fact that she didn't tell her. And I'm just like, how petty is that? I mean, granted, she explained it after why, but it was kind of like, why didn't it feel like it needed an explanation? I mean, at some point, you don't think that she wasn't going to sit there and tell you, she was just going to, what, keep this a secret or something? I don't understand why she felt like, oh, you didn't sit there and tell me. Like, she literally just came from the damn meeting at that particular time. Like, I didn't really understand, like, why that was such a heated moment. Because it just really seems stupid. Now, she does sit there and tell her that because, she feels uncomfortable. Well, one of the things is that she wants to keep her private life private. And that does mean, not telling people that she has a girlfriend. And she asked Christina, is it okay? And Christine pretty much says, well, I keep calling Christina and Christine. I'm just going to call her Chrissy at this point. She pretty much is like, she's fine with it. So I'm just like, wait, let me get this straight. her not being able to tell the world and be open about her relationship with you, you're cool with that. But her not telling you that she just got the job as far as being the face of deception right away, you're that's what you was upset about? Now I cannot be the only person sitting there looking at that situation being like, well, that's hell out of pocket. That literally makes no sense. And I think that's why I was so baffled yesterday, and including the live stream, just like, really? That's pretty stupid. Now, I said this yesterday as far as the scenes with Sasha and Cody not being what they really probably should be because of the actors. So we're doing like these little kind of fluff pieces just to kind of make the minutes go along in the episode. And so, Tracy talked to Terry as far as her physical and stuff. And Terry pretty much, checked her out, was just like, maybe it's depression or whatever. Between Luke's death and her parents and stuff like that, and also Gregory, she's feeling kind of down. So she goes to Cody to sit there and try to get writing lessons and things of that nature. And they have like a nice little scene or whatever, but it really doesn't go anywhere. It's like, I mean, it's just another one of those scenes where it's like it shows the humanity in Tracy. But if you've been watching it for a while, it's like we know that yeah, she could be very tough and very spiteful and very petty and you know a Karen and everything like that, but she also can be very kind and sweet and down to earth. I don't really understand why that was needed to be shown today. Like we didn't see that yesterday or the episodes before. Um, there's this whole little plot where it's like Olivia asks Sasha to help make something, and she did her own spin, and Olivia's like, "Oh, that's great," and it's like, okay, like not really. I don't know. I know some people can sit there and appreciate it, so I'm trying not to really crap on it too much. But it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, not exactly really needed, but clearly they don't really know. They didn't like this was not the original plan for Cody and Sasha to be in this story, and this is the fallout. I mean, it happens. I don't blame anyone. It's just that's life, but it's not good for me personally. It's just not good. It's just filler that doesn't really go anywhere. It's not a terrible scene, but I mean, you could just really fast forward through it. You wouldn't really miss anything. Now, same with Dex and Josslyn. Now, Josslyn doesn't want to sit there and serve Dex, but Kurt's like, oh, what would your grandmother do or whatever. I'm like, okay, well, she could just sit there and just ask the manager to take Dex's order, and you don't have to sit there and deal with it. But it's almost seemed like Kurt's just kind of guilting her into doing it. So she wound up going over there, and she gives hella attitude in the beginning, and they talk. She finds out that he's going to be a cop, and she's like, yeah, that's a bad idea. Because you're going to be a target for Sonny. They talk some more. She talks about how she's not really too sure. She wants to be a doctor or pre-med and stuff like that. And I'm kind of just like, okay. I mean, I wasn't really buying her being pre-med to begin with. So it was one of the things where it's like, okay, you don't want to be pre-med, and what do you exactly want to do? I mean, let's be honest. It's not like she really has some sort of aptitude or like really wants to sit there and like save people's lives and within more scenarios like that was like maybe I should be a doctor or whatever. It's like with one scene and then she was like, oh, I want to be a doctor. So now she's like, oh, I'm not really too sure. They get into the conversation and She talks about how she's ungrateful. Well, she talks about how she sees Portia and how some people are ungrateful and the people she has to sit there and deal with. And Dex brings up Cyrus, and then she like storms off. Like I'm like I really didn't understand, and I guess it was one of those things where it's like, oh, you mean the time that Dex was gonna sit there and kill the guy who almost murked your entire family? That was your breaking point for him, where you just decided to walk away. Oh, you did not bring up Cyrus. You mean that poor defenseless old man that you was about to sit there and murder? That the guy who's also gonna sit there and kill my mom and my family, my brother. That guy. Oh, that's too much. And then she just walks off, and I'm like, I just, I don't really understand. It's like they're trying to make this whole breakup thing convincing, and it's trash from the beginning because this is such a dumb reason for them to break up. You know, they could have did 1,000 different scenarios to actually make this work, and they picked like the most weakest one and dumbest one that actually makes her character look so dumb and annoying. And granted, on a good day, she can be annoying. Why are you adding more things that's necessary to just? I don't really get it. I don't really understand it. Anyway, I feel like that's pretty much about it. If I forgot anything, let me know in the comment section. Yeah, I think that's pretty much about it. So like I said, this episode was a mixed bag. Had some good stuff in it. Had some stuff you can just like really fast forward through. Or you could even just, watch my review and you'll get the gist of it. But yeah, that's all I got. Let me know in the comment section if I missed anything below, and I'll see you in the next video.